The desert stretched endlessly under the pale moonlight, sand shifting in waves across the empty horizon. Sarah crouched behind the jagged ridge, her rifle resting lightly against her shoulder, eyes scanning the distance she had been trained for. Moments like this, every sound, every shadow, every flicker of movement calculated in her mind. The wind carried the faintest whispers of danger, and she knew instinctively that tonight nothing would go as planned. Laughter echoed from the campfire. Behind her, she had seen them before, low-level operatives who thought fear could control her. They mocked her tattoo, a swirling, intricate design across her forearm, as if it were meaningless, as if it defined nothing of who she was. They did not know the story behind it. Each line, each curve, a reminder of missions completed and lives saved. She clenched her teeth, keeping her focus on the shadows moving in the distance beyond the ridge. A rustle in the brush made her spin her head, snapping toward. The sound, her heart beating a precise rhythm of anticipation. She could feel the presence before she saw it. A sniper crouched low, hidden in the dark, camouflaged perfectly, the hood obscuring his face, but his eyes scanning her with recognition, and something else. Something unspoken. The campfire behind her flickered, throwing light on the team, laughing, not realizing that the very person they mocked was about to change everything. She exhaled slowly, counting 1, 2, 3, 4 before moving forward. Each step, measured, controlled, silent. She moved closer toward the fire, blending into the shadows, like a ghost watching the men around the flames, her tattoo catching a glint of moonlight, almost invisible. But the sniper saw it and tilted, his head signaling silently to someone across the way. She followed his movement instinctively, knowing that a single motion could ignite chaos. The laughter stopped abruptly, as if a sudden cold wind had swept through the camp. Watkins, her teammate, stumbled behind a crate, trying to suppress a cough. She grabbed his arm, a slight tug, a whisper in his ear, "Keep calm, stay low, trust me." He nodded, his face pale in the moonlight, unaware of the full meaning of the tattoo, until it was revealed. The sniper shifted slightly, adjusting his rifle. The moonlight glinting off the barrel, she could see his hand flexing in hesitation and anticipation. She pressed herself against the ridge, feeling the weight of everything, her training years of experience, focusing into the single thought of survival. Then the hood lifted fully, revealing the sniper, a flash of recognition in the SEAL commander's eyes, a frozen moment in time. The laughter of her peers cut off abruptly, replaced by silence, curiosity, and dread mingling in the air. She froze briefly, the night holding its breath as if aware of the importance of the moment. She could feel every heartbeat in her chest reverberating through the sand below, knowing that what came next would decide not just her fate, but the fate of everyone in the camp. Suddenly a shout rang out, a warning. The sound of boots pounding sand, chaos erupting like fire across dry grass. The men scrambled in panic, unaware of the trap she had calculated, every angle, every possible escape route. And yet the unexpected always threatened to derail even the most precise plan. The sniper remained, still, eyes locked on her, the hooded figure unmoving, but somehow moving in her mind faster than thought, calculating, counting, timing. Waiting for the right instant, a bullet whizzed past her ear, sand spraying into the air. She ducked instinctively, the world a blur of motion, noise, and shadows. She dragged Watkins down into the cover of a low dune, his eyes wide with fear. She could feel the sweat on his face, smell the fear in the air. But she did not falter. "Not now," she whispered. "Stay quiet, stay calm, trust me," and moved silently to the next ridge, scanning the horizon. The hooded sniper moving with uncanny precision, and the SEAL commander watching in disbelief, as if trying to reconcile the quiet laughter earlier with the deadly focus now displayed. And then, without warning, a shadow moved across the sand, larger, faster than anything human, the moonlight glinting. Off metal or movement, it approached with speed, precision, and intent. Sarah felt the first real twinge of fear. Not for herself, but for Watkins, and the others scattered across the firelight. She pressed closer into the dune, counting seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready for anything, knowing instinctively that this night had only begun, and the real danger was yet to reveal itself. The shadow moved closer across the dunes, faster than any vehicle or man could have approached. The desert seemed to warp around it, the sand kicked up in violent waves, blinding and scorching her face. Sarah tightened her grip on the rifle. Every muscle coiled, every thought focused. She could hear the faint whisper of Watkins breathing behind her, each inhale shaky. With fear and anticipation, she whispered, "Keep your head down, stay calm." But her voice was swallowed by the roar of the desert wind and the approaching menace. She counted 1, 2, 3 in her head, timing every movement like a metronome she knew. The sniper had seen more than the others knew. He had recognized her. Tattoo. Recognized the skill and history it represented, and he was waiting for her to make a mistake. The campfire behind them flickered, illuminating the faces of the laughing men who moments ago had mocked her as if oblivious to the danger. Creeping closer every second, her mind raced, calculating escape routes, angles, cover, distance, and speed. She tugged Watkins along to the next ridge, crouching low and silent, the seal. Commander watched from across the dunes, eyes narrowing in disbelief at what he was seeing. He could not reconcile the earlier laughter with the precision, the focus, the calm, lethal skill displayed. Now he swallowed hard, sensing that the woman he had underestimated moments ago had turned into a force unstoppable. The sniper tilted his head, signaling another hidden figure unseen to everyone else. Sarah could feel their presence even as she forced her body to stay calm, every nerve alert, every sense on fire. Sand shifted violently under the shadow as it descended, with a speed and intent that made the earth tremble. The team behind her started to notice the change in the atmosphere, panic rising like a tide, yet she remained a still point. In the chaos, she adjusted the rifle, sliding it closer to the sand, aiming not at what she saw but where she calculated the movement would come. She could feel the bullet in her mind before it was fired, every instinct screaming danger, every instinct also whispering survival. Watkins stumbled, trying to follow her across the dune. She grabbed his arm and pressed him down, keeping him low. The hooded sniper lifted fully in a gesture, slow, deliberate, revealing the face behind the mask. Recognition flashed across the commander's face, shocked disbelief and understanding. All at once, he had seen her tattoo before, in missions classified and secret. The symbol's not just ink, but a record, a warning, a map to skills that no one in the room yet understood. And the air seemed to thicken with tension, as if the desert itself paused to watch what would happen next. A sudden cry rang out, a warning. Someone had moved too fast. The bullet streaked past, sand erupting into the night. She ducked instinctively and pulled Watkins with her into the shadow of a jagged rock. The wind screamed. The sand stung her skin. Her heart raced, but her mind remained icy focused. She had trained for moments like this, counted for years. Every movement, every calculation now mattered more than ever. She peeked around the edge, scanning the horizon, and saw the hooded sniper shift slightly, ready, poised for the kill. She breathed slowly, counting to calm herself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, knowing that even one mistake would cost everything. The shadow beyond the dunes paused, almost sensing her awareness, then shifted like liquid, ready to strike. She pressed her back against the rock, inhaling deeply, the weight of the night pressing down. She knew the real danger was not the laughter, not the mockery, not the firelight, but the unseen eyes watching, calculating, waiting for the exact moment to change everything. And then a movement in the distance, a flicker of something human, yet faster than any ordinary soldier, approached, and the desert seemed to hold its breath.